Hi! Welcome to the Gilded Troll. Welcome to Last Call, where we sit around and drink and we bitch and talk about our old adventures.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
That's how we do. Oh god, I have to mute this.
You guys voted for Waterdeep Dungeon the Mad Mage. I'm gonna say Dragon Heist.
I mean, that's
basically the
that's
same
a
thing.
different thing.
No, it's completely different.
That's
Basically the same thing.
On my top 10 ranking all the modules, Dungeon the Mad Mage was like fucking 9 and Dragon Heist was like 3.
Yeah, basically the same thing.
Mike, I don't think you know what that phrase means.
Yeah, exactly.
So Dungeon the Mad Mage was actually the first full campaign we streamed. I think we did some stupid one-off that I DM'd, and then we immediately jumped into Mad Mage.
Yeah, check it out. It's still on YouTube.
It's still on our YouTube. Yeah, you did the Christmas one shot, and then we did 3 sessions of White Plume Mountain. The third session of
I
which we
forgot
did
about
on
White
Roll20 because of a fucking snowstorm.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't remember that.
What year was that?
That was that would have been January of last year.
It
Yeah.
was just- Oh yeah.
We got no snow this year, but we got a lot of snow the year or last winter.
So yeah, we're talking about Dungeons and
We
Mad
were
Mage.
talking about Dungeon the Mad Mage.
If you're watching this and you're a player in a Dungeon and Mad Mage game, go away. Don't do that. There's gonna be spoilers. There's gonna be a lot of spoilers.
No, well, there's also a lot
There's
of
a
stuff
Mad
that you
Mage.
changed. Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of spoilers. There's always lots of spoilers.
Yeah. Alright, talk about how you prepared it.
Oh, that's how we're starting?
What was that clusterfuck like?
So it's actually really interesting. It took me a really long time to figure out how to prep Dungeons of the Mad Mage because it's a 320-page book, and reading a 320-page book that's just predominantly like, here's a location, here's what's in it, here's how they behave. Here's a location, here's what's in it, here's how they behave. It's not fun to read. It's not fun to read 300 pages of that. But if you flip through the book, you realize that each chapter is essentially split into 3 sections. There's what dwells here, exploring this level, and aftermath. Skip the exploring this level, which is 90% of the content, and just read what dwells here and aftermath. Read that for the whole book. Start to finish, every level. Just read what's on the level, and the aftermath section essentially tells you, without telling you, like it makes reference to things the players could do as they're exploring,
Okay.
and then tells you what would happen if they did that thing.
So it seems like it's pretty open-ended.
It is pretty open-ended.
But it's
Which is crazy
simultaneously-
considering how much there is. Like, I guess there's a decent chunk of structure in that. Like, here's the floor and here's the shit that happens in it, but then, like, figure it out is the name of the game.
Pretty much, yeah. But so the aftermath essentially gives you ideas of like, well, if the players so let's take the first level for instance.
Mhm.
The main factions on the first level are the Undertakers, the Xanathar's Guild, and then the Wild Things. In the aftermath for the first level, in the what dwells here, it explains, it lists all of those things that are here and gives, vague ideas of what they're after and why they're here. And then in the aftermath, it says, okay, well, if you kill all the Undertakers, but you leave the Xanathars at least partially intact, then the Xanathars expand to the whole floor, minus the areas that the Wild Things take. If you kill the Undertakers and the Xanathars, the Wild Things just start expanding throughout the whole level.
Mhm.
If you kill the Xanathars but not the Undertakers don't do anything with that because they're too afraid to go beyond their safe space.
Or just bypass the entire thing somehow.
Well, you killed all the Undertakers, and then you killed all the Xanathars.
Zogrim killed all the Undertakers.
Zogrim killed all the Undertakers. And I just
They had
realized
it coming.
we don't have our lights on.
Oh, crap. Shitty lighting.
They had it coming. They were setting a trap up for us.
Jesus.
Um,
Yeah, no, the joke is Luke's character was a small gnome wizard, and he
Yeah,
got
that's the
fireball
joke.
happy.
That's the joke. The joke is he's a wizard.
He's a wizard.
A small
Fireball.
gnome wizard.
We didn't let that go for like 20 sessions, though.
You didn't let it go. Everybody else let it go.
Everyone else was fine with it, but Steph would not let it go.
That's my shtick. I hold grudges.
I mean, I constantly give you shit for it. I think it was awesome, but I'll still give you shit for it.
You killed all those innocent people. Yeah, and?
Yeah.
So those 2 sections had all the information about the NPCs, their motives, and all that?
Pretty much, yeah. So in order to actually run a level, you'll absolutely have to read the exploring this level and, you know, read every room's description and all that shit. But to get an idea of the entire dungeon, to get an idea of how the dungeon works, it's enough to just read those 2 sections in each chapter.
How big are those sections usually?
Honestly, I would say they're like 10% of each chapter.
I'm like flipping.
So you can get an idea of the entire dungeon in, I'm guessing, about 32 pages of content, which is way better than 320.
It still seems like
that sounds both good and terrible.
Yeah.
Is this by far like the thickest?
It is. So it has the highest page count of any published module.
Yeah.
It is also written insanely densely. Like, there's no fluff. There's 0 boxed text. 0.
I'm a child and there's hardly any pictures.
There are very few pictures, yeah. There's a picture at the start of each.
What does no boxed content mean?
So, yeah. So, boxed text is read aloud text.
Okay.
So
they tell you what's in the room, and it's up to you to figure out how to
come up with the flowery ways of describing it. Yeah, like they're like, it's a 20 by 30 room. There's a gelatinous cube in it.
Figure it out, DM.
That's all you're gonna give me? Okay. 0 read aloud text.
This was deliberately designed for.
As far as the motives and everything, are they like clear cut? Are there any gray areas for any characters, or is it all just like this character wants this thing and they don't have any, like they're gonna do this to get it, they'd kill or anything? There's no. I mean, do they give you applicability, or is it mostly on you to give each NPC its own personality?
There definitely is latitude in how to play an NPC, but for the most part, like they do give descriptions. So not in the what dwells here section, but throughout the dungeon where you actually meet the characters, it does give the DM information about like, oh, this is their motivation, this is what they're after, and this is how they behave. And so it can be stifling for a DM who wants to like bust out your acting chops. Yeah. It's like there's little room for that unless you're willing to go off book, which I did frequently.
It's also stifling for a player too.
For instance, I actually kind of want to bring up an example. So let me look at the map, and then
while you're doing that, we haven't done this with any of the other books, but Steph, do you want to open up the book and read the disclaimer?
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, where's the disclaimer?
First page, all the way at the bottom. No, right there. Right?
Wait,
all the way at the bottom. Disclaimer. There's always a disclaimer on that page.
It should be in italics. It should be like a funny little thing.
Do you need an adult?
I might need an adult. I don't see it.
It's on that page.
Is it? There's a lot of text on that page. I'm trying to skim it.
He's gonna find it in a quarter second.
Oh, it's up here.
Well, he's looked at the book how many fucking times?
Disclaimer: the Mad Mage of Undermountain is not seeing visitors right now. Don't come down because we're renovating and everything's a mess. You won't find any treasure, and the buffet is closed until further notice. Oh. Ye gods, where did all these Githyanki come from? As if the mind flayers weren't bad enough. What's that? You think you can plunder my home and get away with it? Ha! You don't have the experience points.
Cute. I probably should have opened with that. So Dungeon of the Mad Mage is Hallister's design. Well, why are you watching this if you don't know what the actual module is? But it's the second installment immediately after Dragon Heist, and you explore Hallister's large maze of whatever the fuck, and then he made inhabitants and trapped them there. And
yeah. So I'm gonna read the description of Area 14 of Level 2. These 2 chambers have been claimed by a drow mage named Rizaril, his summoned Quasit minion, and 8 were-rats. At least for now, Rizaril and the were-rats are staunch allies. Rizaril, God I hate that name, works for two groups. House Alvrindar, a low-ranking drow house from Menzo Baranzan that is slowly and secretly consolidating its power in Undermountain, and the Zentarum, which is trying to drive the Xanathar Guild out of Skullport. His ties to the Black Network make Rizaril an enemy of the Xanathar Guild, which currently controls Skullport and is trying to secure the uppermost levels of Undermountain. Rizaril has begun haranguing the Xanathar Guild forces on this level with the help of the Were-Rat gang, which hails from Skullport. The Drow Wizard and the Were-Rats have no quarrel with adventurers who leave them alone. ... Rizaril likes to be invisible as he engages intruders in conversation, hoping to learn their intentions. Any noise he alerts the Were-Rats, who remain hidden until Rizaril calls for them. Rizaril offers the adventurers a reward if they destroy both Xanathar Guild outposts on this level and return with the heads of both guild leaders, whose names he tells them are Nadia the Unbent and Shun Shureth. Rizaril doesn't reveal the nature of the reward other than to say it will make the party's exploration of Undermountain easier. If the characters attack him, Rizaril calls forth the Were-Rats to defend him while he summons a Quasit. If the adventurers overcome these forces, Rizaril trades the stone key for his life. Could you have written that to be more, this guy has a quest for you, go do it, and he's being really weird about it? What I did with this NPC, and I hope you guys remember this, is you bust down the door to his room, and he's sitting there.
Right?
What?
We went around the back for this one, I think. Like we went halfway across the map and then came around the back, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, pretty much. So you bust down the door, and he's surprised as shit because you busted down his door. And then he goes, "Oh my god, you guys are the Gilded Trolls! Like, holy shit, I'm your biggest fucking fan!" So, like, I wanted to give some fucking characters some goddamn personality other than, he's a drow, he has a quest for you.
Yeah.
Like, give me something to work with. But then other characters, it's like, this is exactly how they behave. Like, Terissa Alvrindar is like, it says basically, it basically just says, she's a bitch and she won't even try to talk to anyone who isn't a drow. It's like...
Racist.
I mean, racist, yeah, but could you maybe write a book that allows players to have fun? Do anything?
You have to wonder if that was intentional.
Drow.
Was that intentional due to the sheer amount of content they didn't want to tackle that part of it, or did they?
That's lazy writing.
That's
though.
lazy.
Like,
or did they design?
Your party
this...
didn't pick a drow. Get punished for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The problem is the way it's written. I can't remember exactly how it's worded, but the way it's written, it sounds like if there are any non-drow in the party, she will murder them.
Do they just assume it's like you're going into Iron Mountain, someone roll a...
Do they just assume everyone's gonna be a murder hobo?
Yeah.
It's a giant dungeon, so maybe?
This is 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Like, we don't do that here.
We don't do that here. I don't know. I wonder if that was intentional.
I don't know.
Cut down
I think
content.
it was just intentionally lazy.
Yeah, it's not like
there's some parts that are, I don't want to say good because it was a mess at times, but they were all right, I think. I'm sure Ian did more than we realized to make them
he always does.
Actually workable, but
we're like, yeah, that was a part of the module. No, it wasn't. That was
I'm actually like I'm actually really curious now. Like, name an example, and I'll tell you like how much of it was me.
I can't remember specifics.
Right, like, I need my memory jogged.
Yeah.
Do drow normally act in that way though? Like attack anybody on sight?
Drow are generally very xenophobic. Yeah, they think of other races as lesser, but again, that's generally.
And that's why I killed all of them.
Yeah, I mean that's why. But the thing
also
is,
the creepy sex things.
The creepy sex things. Are
yeah, that was a bit much. Yeah.
But the Drow sex dungeon was just
it's
unnecessary.
That's not my bag.
I agree, it was unnecessary. That's why I dismantled it. Disemboweled it.
But I forget what I was gonna say.
That's fine.
Something about you change stuff.
Drow being normally that way.
It was more confusing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I was going.
So How many opportunities? So
Yeah.
how many total levels are in this again? Is it 23? I know you gave us a map at some point, but how easy is it to circumvent a large number of levels? If you're actually, we did, but I'm wondering how much of the earlier stuff we could have.
So
circumvented.
if you play the adventure as written, it is 100% impossible to skip content.
Makes sense.
And the reason for that is each level is connected to the previous and next level by staircase.
Right.
Except, like, I don't think there's any way to get to 22 except for the portal. Or maybe it was
21.
Maybe it was 21.
One of the really late levels.
Whoa, that was loud.
Is that ass?
Is that Shadow's ass?
Is that Shadow's ass?
That's Shadow's ass.
Love you, ass.
Thanks for hosting Shadow's ass.
I love ass shadows.
So the way that you could potentially skip things is by using the gates that also connect disparate levels. As written, you cannot pass through a gate unless you meet the level requirement. And if you're trying to go deeper than you are now, you're never going to be able to do that.
Yeah,
that's very gamey.
I think you told us that.
Number one, it's stupid gamey.
It sounds like that whoever made the module was working for AO.
It's super crunch everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
It's
You're supposed to kill everything. Don't talk to anybody. Go through every area you're supposed to. Completionist, 100% it. Don't care.
You know, the alert box was working. Oh, cool. It went away. I was just complaining about it. It hurt me.
In the Mad Mage Discord or Reddit or anything like that, what's the average playtime for the game? When people get content?
Oh my god, he knows of a stream that was they're on episode something and they're way early in the game.
Yeah, I've seen a roll 20. It was a roll 20 stream, and we all know online games move slower.
Yeah.
Their episodes are 3 hours long, like to the dot. It's really weird. Like it's like 2:59 or 3:01 every episode. It's really weird.
There's gotta be a reason for that.
And they were on when we finished. They were they were like keeping pace with us, one a week, and they were like 3 episodes ahead of us. So when we finished, they were on episode 46, and they were on level 9.
Oof!
Right. So they're still going.
Yeah. Probably.
Although at this point is.
But that's it was 46 episodes of 3 hours, and that's 100. So that's 142 hours, which is incidentally about how long our campaign took. And they were still on level 9, which is like less than halfway through. That said, when we were on level 9, we were probably about halfway through our campaign.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh hey, that's Leote.
Hey!
Because I never like to give him crits in actual sessions, especially after Vorpal Claws.
Remember, I cut off your head with Vorpal Claws.
Oh yeah,
Thanks, Fast Leote. Let me update my Cheerspiration, my nat 20 count on the Cheerspiration.
Fast Leote also said earlier that the Hogwarts level, which was mostly your.
That's level 9.
Yeah. That was all you.
That wasn't all me. That was
Dwemercore was there, but
that was all homebrew.
Him turning it into the Tri-Wizard Cup, that was not Wizards.
Yeah,
usually the most memorable part of the entire game was that.
What was that kid's name? What was the kid's name?
Spite.
No, you weren't supposed to fucking answer for her because she was gonna mess it up.
Spite. Oh, Smite.
And don't forget, he's a girl.
Did I do that a lot?
You did.
All the time. And you constantly called him a girl.
All the time.
Oh no, did I constantly call him Smite?
Yes, all the time.
Yep.
What was the name of Denton's little gremlin that followed him around?
Ooh.
I don't.
It was a homunculus.
Yeah.
Wait, in Dwemercore?
Starting at Mad God's Castle.
Oh.
Chat named it.
It was a Pokemon.
No, it wasn't.
No,
it wasn't. It was not a Pokemon. Starts with D.
Dickhead.
No, it wasn't Dickhead. I know it.
You had it. It was Dweezil.
Dweezil, that's it. Fuck. Oh, it was a band reference.
It's Frank Zappa's son. His name is Dweezil.
God damn
And then it died to a trap.
It died to a trap.
I do remember
So it
that.
did
That
its
was
job.
awesome.
Yep. And then it reformed in the castle.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Mad
Gotta go back for
Castle
that.
was pretty cool.
What was that, Luke?
I said Mad Castle was pretty cool. Like everything getting really big. Well, not everything. Us getting really small. And
The
everything.
embiggening room.
Never got to use that
The
boat.
embiggening room was cool too. Yeah.
Yeah.
You almost used that boat.
Almost did, but then the fucker knocked me off his head.
Yeah.
Well, I thought
I-
you smashed it on him. Oh no.
No, I never made it. Like I climbed up, I got knocked down, I got back up again, and then I turned into it.
I do regret knocking you off of that thing.
So I've got a question about
yeah.
the overall scope of the thing. How many levels, as written, are completely self-contained? You can do everything you need to do on that level without leaving it, versus, oh, I need to go get a MacGuffin 3 levels up or some bullshit.
Probably 17 of them.
Self-contained.
Self-contained, yeah.
Damn.
So the reason I say that is I know that 10, 11, and 12 are essentially one mega level.
Oh, that fucking war.
Yeah, so on level 10 is the Drow House Alvrindar, on level 12 is the Drow House Freth, and then level 11 is Freth. Freth. And then level 11 is essentially a war zone between the two houses, along with a fuckload of troglodytes that each of the Drow houses is trying to weaponize against the other house.
We had nothing to do with that, did
You
we?
completely skipped all of those levels.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, why? Like,
Yeah.
Why do you care?
they have their Underdark cities. Like, why are they warring inside of, like,
This shithole.
Dungeon of the Mad Mage? Like,
They
I
probably can't get out.
I feel like the hardest thing to write, not, and I don't know if the writing lacks at certain points because they just assume that the DM is going to pick it up. Why should your character even remotely give a fuck about this thing? It's on the player too. But if you're in a dungeon crawl, it's like, why?
Well, part of that's, okay, we're checking out this sick area, and we stumble across this fucking hellscape of Drells shooting shit at other guys, and it's like, hey, what's going on? Yeah, we're killing these fuckers that are strangling our children. Fuck, that's not cool. Let me help you kill those children stranglers.
yeah, but
So
they're both
ethics.
evil.
Oh yeah, and then ultimately you'd probably find out that the team you're fighting for is also strangling children, but like that's the thing.
No, they're actually child drowning.
I
I
love how you defaulted to child strangling, like of all the things.
I mean, that's if somebody says somebody's strangling children, you'd be like, I gotta stop that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have to put a stop to that.
Actually, I'm chaotic evil. I don't give a fuck.
But
Did they have any guidance for anyone to like play a Drow character? Since there are so many, like the first 2 levels you have Drow, and then then you just said 10, 11, and 12 are so Drow centric.
Level 3 is also Drow centric.
fucking drow.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Level 2 has a Drow. Level 3, one of the major parties is Drow, and then level 10, 11, 12 is just all fucking Drow.
Did you?
There's no guidance for what to do with Drow characters.
Did you at any point think maybe I should like get one of my players to roll a Drow character? Do you ever read a module and then go,
absolutely.
oh, you should, maybe try to incorporate that because story reasons?
Did you miss the part where I told Luke to play an Aasimar?
Oh, for Avernus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I laid out like 5 or 6 different character choices that I was just like, if you pick one of these, you have a built-in hook to the story.
Yeah.
Didn't we make Chultan characters because we did a Chultan campaign?
Yep.
And in Curse of
I mean-
Strahd, I picked the haunted background because it would
Yep.
tie into the story. Was there any backgrounds or anything for Dungeon of Mad Mage?
No, there was the module, the monsters, the magic items, books over.
I know the Abyss made me hate Drow. That's probably why we didn't play it. One of 10,000 reasons.
So
So the
how
reason we didn't
serviceable-
play Out of the Abyss was because Curse of Strahd came out while we were still playing Tyranny of Dragons.
Yeah. What, Mike?
How serviceable would it be for each floor, the standalone ones, to be like their own, not a campaign, more than a one-shot though, but like, okay, here's the dungeon, the entire dungeon, fuck it, floor 3, we're going to play through floor 3, and that's all. How would that work?
Some of them, yeah. I would say level 3 probably wouldn't. mostly because level 3 kind of exists to get you to Skullport.
The fuck was that?
A car somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's that
car driving out.
Okay, it
Oh,
sounded like
Jesus.
somebody's fucking getting abducted by a UFO.
Neat. Get me off this fucking planet, please.
Level 3 probably wouldn't work. Level 1, totally serviceable, just here's a big dungeon. Level 2, same thing. Level 5 might be a little weird because level 5 kind of ties into the story of Undermountain better than most. Level 5 is Willowwood, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Level 4 would probably work as a standalone dungeon. Actually, it would work probably one of the best as a standalone dungeon.
Level 4.
Which is why I hated it and kind of made you guys skip it.
Yeah. You were very transparent about that.
Yeah.
Like, guys, this level's bullshit.
Yeah, I was very
Please don't
transparent
engage.
about, like, we will not have a fun time if we go to this place. Please skip it.
Yeah.
And-
That kind of segues into my next question.
Mike,
if
just
you
hold
were-
on, let's go.
If you were to skip those, would this be a good campaign, do you think?
If we were to skip the standalone ones?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think that's pretty much the way to run this, is find out which ones can stand on their own, completely independent of the rest of the module, and delete them from existence.
That's actually a really cool strategy to run it.
Yeah. What's funny is that on
Did anyone recognize that? Like, you were up on all the subreddits, did anyone even remotely suggest that?
I was actually gonna talk about the subreddits, and you interrupted me.
Got it.
On the Dungeon the Mad Mage subreddit, there are so many people saying, I want to run this, but I don't have 50 sessions to do it. What can I cut? And
This one.
And honestly, like, there were a few suggestions where it's like, I don't really like the flavor of this level, but there's like 8 or 9 levels that everyone says, cut it. Just cut it. And then, some people recognize, oh, well, if you're going to cut 10 or 11 or 12, you have to cut all 3 of them. But yeah, like, any of the standalone levels, like, just get rid of it. It doesn't matter. They don't do anything.
Yeah.
Are there any other exits to Underbound other than the one on the first floor? Because, like, it's, 23 levels you said? So, like, is there any way to make it hey, we go on an adventure for a little bit and then we leave? Without, also, did you add the afflictions when leaving Underbound? Because we left 3-4 times maybe?
3 or 4 times, yeah. I added Undermountain Madness. That was a thing that I made up. So for those watching who didn't watch our Dungeon Mad Mage stream, the way
Fuck you here. Yeah.
yeah. So the way Undermountain Madness worked was that each time the characters decided to leave Undermountain, like they said, yes, we're going to go all the way up to level 1 and then leave. Not when they leave, when they decide to leave. They all have to make a wisdom saving throw. The DC of the wisdom saving throw is 10 plus the deepest level you've delved to.
Oh.
So Denton never had a chance.
Denton never had a chance. Actually, you crushed the first few.
Suck it, Undermountain Madness.
Mantis. Undermountain
Mantis.
Mantis.
I can
So-
talk goodly.
So at some point you guys like accidentally screwed yourselves because you were on like level 8 and you stepped through a portal to 16 and then you were like, oh, let's not go there, that's really deep, and then backed up, but that counted.
That's some bullshit.
So from then on it was DC 26 and you're just boned.
That's not our fault.
So then if you fail the saving throw against Undermountain Madness, you get 1 stacking level of Undermountain Madness. And the first level was I can't leave Waterdeep. So essentially you gain a flaw. I can't leave Waterdeep. And
Denton already
then
had that flaw. Haha.
yeah. And then the second one is I can't be further from Undermountain than the Yawning Portal. And then I can't leave Undermountain. And then I can't go higher than 5 levels above the deepest I've ever been. And I can't go up.
I just realized something. So you invented Undermountain Madness for Durnan.
No. I took a story thing and gave it mechanics. Durnan is tied to Undermountain. Durnan is afflicted.
They just use that terminology though. He's afflicted. He doesn't want
Yeah,
to leave.
yeah. They never called it like
Stupid.
Undermountain Madness. They never called it anything like that.
He's got level 2, based
But
off
yeah,
of what you
yeah.
defined it as.
Yeah.
Right. And
So wait,
then
did he take our deal anyway?
your deal to wish his madness away.
Yeah, if he sold us the tavern.
No, because he has dozens of grandchildren to provide for.
Oh my god, remember when Megan tried to like lesser resto his Undermountain Madness?
No, she used greater
Oh, did she use
resto,
greater? Okay.
and she used it on him before she used it on Zogrum. And you got really upset at that.
I did get really upset about that.
Why was he so old?
Why was Durnan so old?
Yeah.
Because he's an adventurer and he found lots of powerful magic when he was in Undermountain. Is essentially the official story.
Yeah. Okay.
But the way that Undermountain Madness is described, and so I watched a really cool series that Greg Tito does over at Wizards of the Coast called Lore You Should Know. And there were 2 episodes in particular, one on Undermountain and then one on the 7, Hallister's Apprentices. So I recommend both of those if you're going to run this campaign. But in the one on Undermountain, they describe Undermountain Madness without giving it a name, and they talk about how Durnan has it, and then they talk about how not everyone gets it. And the way Chris Perkins describes it is, it's like a squeaky floorboard. You can walk through a room 100 times and never step on it, but some people do. And once it creaks, you can't uncreak it.
Okay.
Now going back to that, you said like that you recommend that to people for the 7 and Undermountain.
Yep.
How much did that add to your experience when preparing for the 7? Like, did you use that
Infinitely.
content, or-
Infinitely. Dear
The
fucking
book
God,
didn't
there is
inform
like 0 information in the book about the 7.
The 7 being the
Hallister's Apprentices.
God. Okay.
And that included my warlock patron
Jessera.
Jessera. There you go.
Jesus. I couldn't even come up with it. I was like,
No, not
Arcturia?
Jesus. Jessera.
Yeah, so Hallister's 7 apprentices are Jessera, Arcturia, Trobriand, Nestor, Rantantar,
Rantantar.
Mural. I don't remember the last one. So Arcturia and Mural and Trobriand are in the module. It doesn't tell you a whole lot about them except the way they are now. It doesn't tell you about their history at all. It also mentions that Jessera exists and is kind of like sort of controlling Undermountain a little.
Yeah.
She's the reason you can't go through a gate to a lower level. She's trying to protect you from getting in over your
Get
head
the fuck out
so
now.
that you can eventually make it to the bottom and kill Hallister.
So he could have avoided that DC 26. Man.
Man.
But like that's all Jessera does as far as the module is concerned.
Lame.
She controls the gates.
Like that seems like a really flimsy way of trying to make an in-game justification for some bullshit mechanic they came up with.
Yep. Marambra. Got it. Marambra Nightsteel. It's the 7th.
I
Yeah.
don't even remember
So-
that name.
That's fine, because you never met her. Him. I don't know. Probably her.
I'm really curious now. I want to pull up Roland's D&D Beyond character sheet and see, because I had notes about all of them.
Oh, yeah. So the 7, like, Trobriand, Mural, and Arcturia are present and villains in the module, but it doesn't give you a whole lot of information about, like, who they are, what their history is, all of that stuff. So Trobriand is only supposed to show up on level 23, the Mad Wizard's Lair.
Yeah.
Arcturia is only supposed to show up on level 23, the Mad Wizard's Lair. Mural shows up on level 10, Mural's Gauntlet.
Seems like a waste of those other 2.
So they were just to add into the boss fight, the final boss fight or something?
Not even! They're like mini bosses on the way to the boss fight.
That's so lame.
It's stupid lame.
It's a video game.
It's very video game.
Not even like.
Just burn your resources before you get to the boss.
Pretty much, yeah. Except there's no mechanic, there's no time crunch, there's nothing. It's just, oh, okay, we killed Trobriand. Let's make a wall of stone. Let's make some illusions. Let's rest for 3 fucking days, and then we'll go kill Hallister.
Dude,
And
what
like,
you think? Tiny hut, and then just sit.
yeah,
Tiny hut on the ceiling.
Oh my god, I have so little information about them. Arcturia, we had a good amount of interaction with, so I don't think I really wrote anything about it.
yeah. You attended a lecture by Arcturia.
Easily the most memorable session because I was so disgusted. Because
Ad lib.
body. Okay,
Body horror.
for anybody that watched the stream, body horror is like borderline not okay for me. But I watch
It's
a
a
lot of
soft
horror.
limit.
It's a soft limit.
What do you think about the mutants in Futurama?
The sewer mutants.
What, are they like Morlocks?
I can't remember what their shtick is.
They're all really weird. Like, there's literally like a leg, like a knee down leg with a face. Like, that's just a dude.
Just because of shit in the sewers is mutating them?
No.
What?
He's asking, there are mutants.
Yeah.
They're really weird body horror bullshit. Does that bother you?
No, it's only if someone is misshapen and changed against their own will.
Okay, so some human centipede shit then.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
I have not watched that movie.
If you're born
You
that
probably
way,
shouldn't.
it's fine.
You probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're born fucked up. That's fine.
Well, no, because okay, so if you go through a transformation later, you already know what normal is, and that's somehow more tragic. For me. I don't know. There's like 4 of those movies now.
I just hid and I hid and re-showed the alert box, and it didn't come back. Like the alert box is here, but that actually cleared the notification.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
There's got to be a bug in Streamlabs.
The Streamlabs is a bug.
It's actually kind of a cool thing to talk about, though, like discussing like hard and soft limits with your players. Because soft limits, I like shit being toyed with because it actually makes it makes you feel
it makes
something.
memorable. Yeah, it makes for memorable sessions.
But having that discussion is also really important.
Trobriand's graveyard was where the Luskenborn worm was, right?
Iluskin.
Iluskin boarworm.
Yeah.
It was just the
just call it
boarworm.
No, shut up. It was the Iluskin boarworm.
Okay. It's the boarworm.
Yeah.
And then we called it the Iluskin boarworm because it may have maybe come from Luskin because magic. I don't know. Even though Trobriand definitely built it down here.
What
No. It's a Luskin citizen.
Who?
That's the thing.
Trobriand?
Trobriand is
He's a metal mage.
Metal Mage, Dwemer Core Headmaster, fascinated by machines, magical constructs to defend Undermountain, carved out their own level, graveyard, metal ring controls them.
Yeah, so the Scaladars, which you met in Descent in Avernus on the train, big metal scorpions.
Yeah.
The Scaladars in Trobriand's graveyard are controlled by control rings, big steel rings that Trobriand gave out or made. And then Trobriand himself has the Master Ring, which overrides anyone else's control ring.
Would you say it's one ring to rule them all?
It is his one ring, yeah.
Got it, thank you.
But while you guys were in Trobriand's graveyard, Zox Clamorsham, the gnome wizard that you met there, he actually had a control ring. But he cast a permanent illusion to make it invisible.
What a dick. Wait, it was invisible? You fucking dick, I could see it!
How many times did we fuck that up?
No, how many times did you fuck that up? Because
Okay,
I can't say,
so-
it's the invisible thing that I don't know about.
For anybody
You
who doesn't know what
fucking
the fuck is going
Whenever I
on,
walk the room, is there anything invisible?
Den had the Eye of
No, he had the robe of eyes.
Eye of robes.
This robe.
Oh god. Mike fucking won Halloween.
Yeah, for Halloween we all dress up as their characters, and the fucker shows up in a robe with
In a
bunch
bathrobe
of
with
fucking...
a pile of paper eyes on it.
You fuckhead.
I barely tried it all.
Oh god. You fucking painting goddamn scales in your face.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I was proud of that. I painted it on my
Fucking
phone
fish
pretty.
net.
Oh, God.
No, it was actually a wig head hat thing. Yeah, that was cool. We got really off topic.
Yeah.
As
So
we are
the
once.
7.
How did you? So we talked about how crunchy everything is, and there's not a whole lot of role playing opportunities. What did you try to do to overcome that a little bit?
By throwing out as much of the module as possible and replacing it with things that are fun and interactable.
I was getting more at each long rest. That was a cool thing you did.
That was a very tiny thing.
That's
I
fair.
feel like the thing I just said was a lot more work and much bigger payoff.
I mean, yeah, but you already talked about that.
So I had a D100 table of rest topics that were essentially like, you guys are going to have conversations while you're resting, either whether it's a short rest or a long rest. You're going to talk to one another because you're people, and that's what people do. At some point during your rest, this conversation comes up. How does that particular conversation go? So. That was the table.
Sometimes it felt forced that way.
It was super forced,
What
but
else are you gonna do?
given how little opportunity there was for roleplay, I literally had to force it in.
Yeah.
I had no other option.
It worked sometimes, and other times we kind of fell flat a little bit, and
Yeah.
that's how it happens. That's how conversations go. Sometimes it's like, oh fuck, we just discovered the meaning of life, and other times it's, hey, draw suck.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why I
Not only
get drunk
that,
so much.
Role playing in the moment of an action at times can be a lot more I don't know, emotional or character driven or player driven or whatever you want to call it, rather than waiting to a long rest to discuss what happened.
I need to turn that down.
Mike subbed.
Yeah,
Thanks, Mike.
yeah, I do the
He's
good.
subscribed for 11 months with no streak.
What? What the fuck? Where'd my streak go? It's
There's
bullshit.
no streak.
Yeah,
It doesn't say anything about a streak.
Oh, way to suck.
I've been
Bullshit.
gypped
You
twice.
get like 2-3 days if you're using Prime because
Yeah.
then it
What?
resets.
What the fuck? I only pay attention once a week, if that.
Well, get wrecked.
Man, it's some bullshit. I guess I'll just stop subbing.
So, for Dragon Heist, your villain was Manchun.
Manchun.
Was he actually in Undermountain, or did you just plug him in?
Plugged him in.
Cool.
Yep.
Do you want to describe how you
Sure.
plugged him in and how that interaction
Absolutely.
was?
All right. So he was your villain in Dragon Heist, and
I love when I realize things as I'm asking a question. I'm like, oh yeah, that was okay. That was you.
yeah. So he was your villain in Dragon Heist, and he got away at the end. You ruined his plans. You caused Force Grey to be able to raid his sanctum. I think they actually stole his spellbook too. Like I think he was forced to flee without his spellbook.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
But I mean, he's Manchun. He's got a fucking dozen of those. But since he got away, I didn't want him to just be nothing. And then since you guys were actually getting to high levels, it made sense for him to be able to actually challenge you in a combat situation.
Mhm.
So in Dragon Heist, I don't want to get too far into it, but in Dragon Heist, he has a modified version of the Simulacrum spell that has full hit points, but no spell slots higher than 5th, instead of half hit points and all your spell slots. The reason for that is so that it can actually be a villain that level 5 characters can stand a fucking chance against, because
Which-
otherwise, Force Cage.
Yeah.
You fucked idiots.
Or just
Go ahead. Or Meteor Swarm. Yeah, just fucking here. Meteor Swarm. Go ahead and resist all of it, stupid barbarian. You're still taking
Still dead,
70
yeah.
goddamn damage.
Yeah.
Seems like a little bit of an excessive spell to use on level 3 adventurers, but hey, what the fuck do I know?
Yeah.
I'm not the big bad.
It also made for a memorable, oh, his biggest spell is Bigby's hand? Let me punch with it!
Oh my god, you fucking.
Girder got knocked unconscious by that Bigby's fist so often.
Shut up, bitch!
Every time you saw Manchun, she got knocked unconscious by Bigby's hand.
I think I dragged
I feel
her
like that
out
was her fault.
at least once or twice, too.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think she actually
Do we wanna go
died
there?
the one time.
Yeah.
Like, in your final fight against Manchun at the Vault of Dragons. But that's Dragon Heist. was trying not to get too far into Dragon Heist.
We'll get there.
So Manchun is, he's an Archmage. He's like CR 13 or 14 or something like that. He's a powerful wizard or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
With his Rose of the Archmagi and his Staff of Power. Words. Oh, so on level 7 of Undermountain, it's Mad Goth's Castle. And so it's
earlier than that we introduced him though, right? Because I remember going to the tavern and like he met with us and like we tried to get information about Mahalister from him, and then he was like, "I'll give you a deal, like if you get something from me," and then like I think it was the arm, like he wanted the arm, and then
so he wanted the arm, but he wasn't ready to tell you any of that until you actually got into Undermountain or deeper into Undermountain. But it was the first time that you left Undermountain that he just showed up at the Gilded Troll disguised before just like plonking his prosthetic arm on the counter, and you're all like, and he's like, I could kill you all with a thought, but you're useful. So how about instead we make a deal? Meet me at Mad Goth's Castle.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason for that is that Mad Goth's Castle it's teeny tiny castle. I think it's actually about this big. The whole castle. I think it's like 3 feet. No, it's got to be bigger than that.
It was like
5.
It was something like 20 feet across.
Yeah, I think it's like 20 or 30 feet across.
Oh, really?
I don't remember.
It was reduced to it's 1/12 scale castle, and then when you get close to it, you are reduced to 1/12 scale. So the way the module's written, the castle's mostly empty. Nobody lives there anymore. And then in the aftermath, it's like, like Mad Goth could come back and like he's either like a lich or an archmage, like you pick.
He's just out getting the mail.
Well, no, he's out serial killing wizards because that's his thing.
That's basically getting the mail.
Like Mad Goth is a fairly like well established character. Like he's a serial killer who kills wizards. Don't know why, don't really, whatever. But I thought it was much more compelling to have someone that you had already had a history with than a random Archmage that you don't know shows up. So
Was he the same Archmage in level 20? Sorry.
Say that again?
Was he the same Archmage in, was it level 9?
Level 9. Dwemercore?
The Lich, sorry, the Lich, not Archmage.
The Lich in... No, so the Lich in Dwemercore is actually Nestor, one of the 7.
Oh, okay.
And actually, he wasn't a Lich, he was a Bone Claw. He tried to become a Lich and failed. But if you believe the module, he tried to become a Lich and failed, so he's starting to just, like, turn to dust, and now he's just a skull now, but he still has the stat block of a Lich.
Doesn't fucking up the ritual turn you into a demi-lich or some shit?
No, it turns you into a Bone Claw.
Oh.
It actually turns you into a Bone Claw. Like, that's where Bone Claws come from, is you fucked up the ritual, you failed to push your soul into your phylactery, so instead it latched onto the nearest evil thing, and you became a Bone Claw. And that dude is now your phylactery.
Right, and then the demi-lich is when the lich fails to maintain its yearly soul sucking or whatever. Okay.
So
keep track of all these fucking undead.
Yeah, so Manchun shows up at Mad Goth's castle after you guys were already there. Like, he just teleports in to where you were at. I think you like accidentally sent out like a distress beacon or something to him. You were in like the control room.
We were in like the panic room, and we made something. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And I think I just decided that like mentally pinged him like there's people here, or I forget exactly how it worked, but he teleports in and he's like, hey, so I got a deal for you. So Halister stole my arm and I want it back, and if you get it back for me, I'll help you kill him.
Cool.
So you're like, okay, and then you head down to Dwemercore where he tells you it is, and then the Triwizard Tournament happens and the arm is the prize.
Yeah, fuck you, Spite.
Yeah.
My favorite part of the whole Triwizard Tournament was when you guys realized that the third place prize was better than second place.
Yeah.
Which I did on purpose.
They had to lose on purpose.
Just so that you would do some fucking Quidditch level, wait, we can't win yet.
Oh, fuck Quidditch. So dumb.
That was really funny.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Luke?
I thought it was pretty cool too. The whole control water to make an air bubble underwater to like travel through all that shit.
That was fucking sick. We
Oh,
just did
yeah,
that
yep.
with the water bending over our fucking heads.
Yep. Yeah, like that's exactly what I was thinking of when Katara was waterbending through Serpent's Pass.
Yeah.
Actually, I was Aang and Katara. So was Aang airbending or was he waterbending?
Probably water bending.
Probably
It
waterbending.
must have been, yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you gonna do with the air in there, you know?
Hold it down because air is buoyant.
No, you use the water to. Nah.
They're
both water.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, that's exactly what I was imagining. That air bubble was really cool.
Yeah.
My favorite was the part where Megan asked, "Can I just like drop concentration, let the air bubble go up for a minute, and then cast it again next round and pull it back down?" I was like, that would work if there was a roof, but this is an open ziggurat.
What was your favorite floor as a DM?
My favorite floor as a DM. Favorite floor that we saw, or favorite floor in the book?
Both.
Okay.
Space Castle doesn't count.
Ian! So my favorite floor in the book is level 16, Crystal Labyrinth. I don't give a shit about the Crystal Labyrinth itself. I give a shit about Stardock, which is
so fucking cool.
So goddamn cool, which is a Githyanki creche out in space on one of the tiers of Selûne. So it's just a shitload of Githyanki and red dragons in space.
So it's orbiting the moon, one of the moons?
It is trailing the moon.
Right, yeah, okay, yeah.
That's a thing?
Yep. Yeah, so
Yeah,
the moon is Selûne, and the tiers of Selûne is essentially an asteroid field that follow the moon across the sky.
I think Luke was trying to plug something. What?
No, I was just saying, if you guys haven't seen what a Starjammer looks like, go watch the Baldur's Gate 3.
Do you mean a Spelljammer?
No, the
Space
Starjammer.
Jammer.
Space Jammer.
It only has one name.
You call it a Starjammer.
Starjammer now.
Space
the
Jammer.
fucking the Tears of Selûne, they're not part of the moon that broke off, right?
I don't know if it's established.
Or am I mixing up mythoses? Because a lot of things have broken moons in the fucking sky.
You might be.
Okay.
I don't actually know.
What's your favorite that we went through?
Favorite level that you actually went through? Let's see. You can go through there.
Probably fucking Dwemercore.
I had a lot of fun with Trobriand's Graveyard, but I was super disappointed that you guys didn't have like a real fight with the Boreworm.
I tried to, but then Girder died, so it was like, well, fuck, I gotta do other things.
That thing's annoying to put back.
Get it.
I actually had a lot of fun with Arcturia Doom. There was some really interesting accidental splitting of the party, which I felt I handled really well. Zogrim got separated from everyone else. Denton got separated from everyone else, but then everyone followed him. Or no. Denton got separated and had a one-on-one fight and won, but then got polymorphed or something.
I didn't get polymorphed once. I resisted every single one, and you were so pissed off because I resisted every one.
Someone got polymorphed. I don't remember who it was, though.
No, I think you got polymorphed by the first one and then resisted the rest of them.
Oh yeah. I got polymorphed into like some fucking zombie or something, and I had to beat everybody up.
Yeah, and then they kicked the shit out of you, and
then I was at 0.
And then you were at 0 because that's how the polymorph trap works.
Yep.
But everyone went that way except Zogrim. So Zogrim was separated and had no way to go with you because.
Oh yeah, and he was fucking sneak around with the fire giants and shit.
Yeah, and I thought that was really fun.
Yeah.
That was neat. Yeah, I like that.
Dude, I can be a rogue even though I'm a wizard.
Well, when you have the fucking ring of invisibility and slippers of
Oh
spider
my
climbing,
God. We printed him a thing for his mini that hung him upside down. If you haven't watched the stream, in every fight you fucking just see this tiny little wizard dude upside down.
Zogrim's catchphrase: I'm on the ceiling.
I'm on the ceiling. I'm invisible.
Invisible on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mike, what was your favorite level?
I don't fucking know. I'd have to.
Here, I'll link you a list.
Okay.
Okay.
Mine was Dwemercore.
That
And
link
then
will probably work for you.
And then
Oh,
maybe
God.
second was Willowwood. I liked Willowwood.
Really?
Willowwood felt the most normal. You're in this great big dungeon, there's fucking crypts and stone walls and fucking, oh look, outside, there's a sun, there's a dragon, there's trees.
So the interesting thing about Willowwood is that the map literally says it continues this way. Just it goes off that way, and then like it doesn't say how far that way the map goes, but then somewhere in that level it's like, yeah, this level's about a square mile.
Obviously, it just goes forever, and then you turn around and you haven't moved 2 feet.
But it's just like, yeah, that's like wild stuff over there. Like, there's nothing really important. It's just a bunch of wild animals and
also,
shit.
I will never forget Halistry.
Halistry's amazing.
That was you.
Fucking
wasn't it?
Halistry.
Luke, what's the line?
Do you hate yourself as much as I do?
You hate your
Your
existence.
existence.
Oh.
Yes,
Fuck, it's so much
Was that in
worse.
the book?
What,
Alright,
was
so-
Halistry in the book?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, your existence.
We fucking opened the door to, what's her dick? What was her name?
Willow.
Willow's house or whatever she was living
Tree
in.
house.
There was a fucking
There was a tree and a house.
There was a tree with his face.
With Halister's face.
With Halister's face. And we put 2 and 2 together that she had a hard-on for Halister. And
Actually, not the case.
Wait, really?
No, not even remotely.
What the fuck?
The story of Willow, and you never learned this. The story of Willow is actually that a wizard came to Undermountain to study under Halister, and he brought his bride, Willow. But being an Eladrin, being a druid, she was despondent. She fucking hated it underground. So this wizard was like, Halister, like, I have to leave. She's gonna fucking kill herself. And Halister's like, I'll do you one better.
Oh, no.
And he made Willowwood.
Damn,
Halister made Willowwood for Willow.
that's pretty badass.
And then
Why is Halister a tree?
Halister also made Halistry to be her butler. And then adventurers came in and murdered her husband.
Whoopsie.
So now she hates adventurers.
Racist.
Okay.
But she likes it here enough to not want to leave. Because she gets to be the god of something.
Why would you... I mean, okay, I guess. I was gonna say, why do you want to stay in the place with bad memories or whatever?
Did have a cool pet dragon.
She does have a cool pet dragon.
Did we
which
think
you
about
fucking
killing it?
assholes
Wait,
sicked on her.
we did kill the dragon, didn't we?
You
Yeah.
you stole its sword. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
We
and
made
made
her.
Yeah.
Then the actual dragon woke up.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then you somehow convinced it to attack her instead of you.
We just ran away.
Oh,
Oh,
you
we
just...
ran. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
She summoned the forest to like made like pterodactyls or something to attack it, and then we were
Yeah.
like,
Did I ever explain how she did that?
Yeah, she turned butterflies into Quetzalcoatlus with
Yeah,
fucking mass.
the spell Animal Shapes. It's an 8th level spell.
Animal shapes.
Any number of creatures you can see within range turn into beasts of CR4 or lower.
So that ant
That's
farm you
neat.
got over in the corner.
She used the swarm of butterflies she has in her hair.
Fuck, that's fucking badass.
That's cute.
Mhm.
I came up with that. Like,
I
that
think my
spell
favorite-
is on her list, but it's like, yeah, like, she turns, like, rabbits and deer into saber-toothed tigers.
And you're like,
It's like,
fuck that.
Fuck that. Butterflies. Swarm of fucking, Quetzals.
I have never heard of animal shapes.
It's a druid-only spell.
It's in
Yeah.
the player's handbook too. Shit.
Yeah. Oh god, I was looking at a spell the other day that I was just like, this is in the basic rules and I've
Yeah.
never looked at this.
Because some things are just inherently bad and no one ever looks at them ever.
Luke, what was your favorite level? And also,
Or
Mike, have you
Fireball
found
with
one?
Fucking Undertakers. That was his favorite level.
Which one?
Fucking Skullport.
Were you
Skullport.
Fireball all the Undertakers?
I was
Yeah.
actually thinking that one as well.
I liked it
God.
because of like we
Skullport.
actually changed shit. We made shit happen. It wasn't
Hmm.
just okay, come through scorched earth and leave a pile of corpses behind us. We came in, shit sucked. we made it suck less, and that was fucking awesome.
It was also a big transition like level. I feel like you went
Yes.
from like the low level stuff, and then you figure out you meet Hallister. He fucking we came back there and he meteor swarmed us, but like we also dealt with the Xanathar and all that. Like we did a lot on that level, and continuing off into the Xanathar's guild.
That's why Manchun didn't meteor swarm us. It was fucking totally ineffective.
Yeah. No, Manchun actually did end up meteor swarming you at one point, and it did
totally
so little. I was
totally
so
ineffective.
upset at how little that did. But I'm actually really glad, Luke, that you said that that it was like this huge transition point, because I tried so hard to make that the case.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was the end of Tier 2 and the beginning of Tier 3. And I did that entirely on purpose, so I'm super glad that came across.
I found my mom.
You did find your mom.
Steph got super mad when we got like fucking killed by all those Xanathar people after the flame skull. We awoke the flame skull and all that.
Yeah.
Remember we were on the dock and then they started shooting shit at us?
Yeah.
Piles of spectators and the half giant, half ogre on his wyvern mount, and all the bugbears and the ballistae. Yeah.
The guy I drowned.
Yeah.
And that guy Mike spent 3 rounds drowning.
Hey, man.
We were mad about that. All of us were like, what the fuck is Den doing over there?
You could have killed him in like 1.5 turns by just swinging at him.
I had to go into the water to get my axe.
Oh, yeah.
With me.
Right.
Or something?
No, like you showed up and they were like, drop your weapons, and you're like, okay, we'll drop our weapons, like maybe we can get out of a fight, and he just kicks it into the water.
Yeah.
My axe!
But we were like drained. That was after another fight, I think, right?
That was right after the fight against hags and their giant crabs. The huge giant crab, in fact. Suck out the goodness.
That's a clip.
So Luke, Skullport?
Yeah, definitely Skullport. I think there was a lot of cool moments, but I think Skullport was the most, like, not only memorable, but the most, not the most memorable, but
most meaningful.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time there. There were a lot of sessions there, and we had influence on.
Yeah, and it was also like the closest thing to like a home or group, like an area where we could actually change and progress like we'd come back to it and see the effects of what we did. Like we brought back the flame skulls, and then we pretty much saved the city with that, and then we helped the he's a Harper agent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One Harper, yeah. They helped I brought the Harper agent, his thing from 3 strings or whatever.
And then Mom was a Harper.
Yep.
So we were doing yeah. That was all integrated. Yeah. I'm all out of questions for Ian, surprisingly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
We're only an hour in. What are we gonna do?
See you next week, everybody.
No, I still have questions for the players.
Fucking shoot them.
Hey, Keller's here.
Briefly
Hi,
go
Keller.
over our characters for any fuckheads who haven't watched it.
Oh, yeah, we didn't do that.
Yeah, we didn't do that yet. They've just been like flitting across the screen.
Yeah.
With no names, because I was lazy and didn't feel like putting names on them. I just
go.
used the overlay.
I was DN-10, also known as Denton. I was a Warforged barbarian, zealot barbarian. I was the first Warforged ever created.
In Faerun.
Yeah. Created completely accidentally because the gods said, I need a puppet or a patsy or a whatever. But that's later. And his whole shtick was he approached everything with childlike wonder and gratuitous violence, depending on the situation.
I was 1 year old.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
For in Dungeons of the Mad Mage, he was 1 year old.
Yeah.
In Dragon Heist, he was not yet 1.
And his whole shtick was trying to figure out what it meant to be alive. And never actually did that at the end. I should have resolved that. Whoops.
Oops.
You were also modeled after
one of the walking statues.
One of the walking statues.
Yeah, that was.
If you're familiar with Waterdeep, the walking statues that protect the city.
When 1 equals 0, engage rage subroutine.
That makes me angry.
I just made their currency worth 0 of itself.
And then Mike's character was tied into Megan's character, who was a cleric that had made
A
him.
forge cleric.
A forge cleric
Oh, yes.
that had made him.
Yeah, Megan's not here to talk about her character.
She was a... How old was she?
I got it.
You
She's
got
a
it.
369-year-old dwarf forge cleric of Gond. So essentially her whole life was having been adopted by a human family and not knowing what family is, and then going on to accidentally creating a family after abandoning her actual family.
Also, she worships
damn.
the gnome god.
What was that?
She
Gnome
worships
god.
the gnome god.
I mean, Gond is kind of like he's in the gnomish pantheon.
He's
but,
a gnome god!
Okay.
Luke.
I played Zogrimnod,
The cousin of Nixie Nod for fans of
Watch
our
Avernus.
Avernus stream.
level 18 rock gnome wizard, and 2
Rock gnome.
warlock.
Yep.
Upside down rock gnome.
Upside down
Yeah.
rock gnome.
Talk about your fucking progression throughout the story, because you just, like, lost your arm and shit, so that was cool.
He didn't lose his arm.
He lost his arm!
I removed it.
I thought Steph cut it off.
Oh yeah, and somebody cut it off. I don't know who cut it off.
I think Steph cut it off.
Yeah, I think it'd probably be a little better to cut it off with a sword than an axe. I don't know.
I mean, it'll be a pretty clean chop with a fucking great axe.
Well, Steph had the sword of sharpness.
Oh yeah.
That'll be good for slicing, not chopping, though.
Okay. Yeah, he's got a point. But yeah, Luke, talk about your character.
Um.
Well done.
I don't know how I want to talk about my character.
Okay, so
Mind palace.
Zogrim started out as very distrusting of the law, having been falsely imprisoned.
Oh god, yeah, that's all the way back. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going all the way back. And then over the course of the adventure, managed to start to see the value in relationships, essentially, because of the adventuring party that he worked with. And also at some point they got the left...
Again, kind of, because like he was with the defending, he did defend Waterdeep. We'll go into this with Dragon Eyes, but he defended Waterdeep, and then was kind of thrown in jail for something that he didn't do. So he was a little distrustful of people, and then regained the trust with traveling with the party for so long and dying and coming back to life and learning to sacrifice himself and
Saved your ass.
I saved your ass more times.
Yeah.
So one time, Zogrim saved everyone else's ass so hard that Zogrim died, and in the process got a warlock patron.
Oh, it's a hell of a scene too. Like we had opened the portal to the lightning dude.
You guys were having a ridiculously hard time getting a long rest because of all the goddamn Umber Hulks, and you're like, fuck this level, we're going to a different level.
Yeah.
So you opened a portal that you knew went to level 2. It's like, it's level 2. How bad could it possibly be?
Oh, that bad.
And then a flux charger flies out. A creature made of lightning and fire.
And we just go run, because we know we have no resources left. Zogrim's like, I'm gonna go that way. Literally everyone else goes the other way.
Yep.
We lock ourselves in, what room was that?
The heart of the mountain.
Yes. And we stop hearing shit. And I made a deal, because I wasn't allowed to leave the room. I made some sort of deal to leave the room, didn't I?
No, you made the deal to get into the room.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you needed the hand of a king to open the door,
Hmm.
and you didn't have one.
Yeah.
And you were like, Ruin, please open the door. And Ruin's like, okay. But you
How did we
couldn't
do that
have it.
last? Did I just teleport through it? The first time?
Yeah. Yeah, you teleported through it the first time.
Yeah. And then
Roland
just
opened it from
picked
the
up-
inside.
Roland picked up Zogrim's ass and then carried him back, and he was already dead at that point.
But yeah,
Did we ever open that door the right way?
yes.
Okay.
Oh,
The third, yeah, the third time you opened it, you actually used the hand of King Malaire.
Mm.
Fucking bad.
Yeah.
So Zogrim learned to sacrifice himself.
And
By
got a warlock
sacrificing
patron out of it.
Yeah.
That's a sweet deal.
Yeah. Did your Warlock dip do much, if anything, for you mechanically?
Nope.
No.
But it was flavorful, so fuck it.
It was
yeah.
beyond flavorful.
Yeah.
So Zogram's Warlock patron was Jessira. So the history of Jessira, and I was kind of sort of getting into this earlier when we were talking about the 7. The history of Jessira is that each of the 7 had their own like area of expertise in terms of magic. Jessira's research was into living spells. And it's never stated explicitly, but the module says, yeah, like, she escaped and managed to tie herself to the stones of Undermountain. Which I thought was, like, a really weak explanation of, like, what in the hell she is.
Yeah.
So I just said, she's a living wish now. She
Cool.
turned herself into a living wish. I should move my cursor.
Oh, I did miss a question for you. As DM, but we'll get there.
Okay. So Jessira was the living wish and became Zogram's Warlock patron, and in doing so, taught him the spell Create Living Spell, which
you did not cast enough.
Yeah, you did
No.
not cast anywhere near enough.
It's way too long of a cast.
It's a cool.
It's an
cast.
insanely good spell, though.
Yeah, and we didn't like bunker down enough to be able to use it that much.
We bunkered down like every fucking 20 seconds.
I
For 8
published
hours?
the spell on D&D Beyond, so you can check out the homebrew, etc., and find the spell.
There were a lot of points where we rested for like over fucking 8 hours.
Yeah,
because
there
we
were a lot of
needed
points
to.
where you rested for like 20 hours.
Yeah, I also have to have a humanoid soul, and the soul has to have enough hit dice for the spell that I want to turn it into. I've done it before, but I did it into a shield.
I
and then we-
volunteer as tribute.
You made a living shield and then immediately got meteor swarmed.
Yeah. Like, it's not the easiest thing to do.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's hard as fuck, but you casted what, 3 times? 2?
Twice. I think twice.
Twice.
No, actually,
Once
I think
did
just
nothing.
once.
No way.
I only remember homebrewing one living spell stat block.
Jeez.
Also, I couldn't use it when I first got it because you have to use it on a living creature soul.
No, it's a creature who had died less than a minute ago.
Mm.
Well, I mean, the text is living creature soul, but like, okay, even a creature who's died, like that's right after a combat.
Do you
Like, you
remember
want me to just start
joking-
casting an hour-long spell right after a combat?
Yeah.
Do you remember joking like I'm gonna turn all you fuckheads into living wish if you drop dead though?
Didn't you
Because
turn
I-
Roland into living...
Living illusory dragon was gonna be the thing when she died.
Yes.
Oh, when she dies. You
Yeah.
sent a simulacrum with
Yeah.
Roland.
It was a
When you
simulacrum.
die,
Is
I'm gonna
blood.
turn you into an illusory
And
dragon.
I was like, okay, like I'm fine with that. If I can serve some fucking purpose,
I
I
gave
will.
it one of my attunement slots for the
Literally
living
immortal.
invisibility, put it on the simulacrum, and then he'd just follow her around forever. Not help her. She dies, then I'll fix it.
like she wouldn't be able to die at all in that form, because Loser Dragon doesn't have hit points,
Nope.
and Dispel Magic deals damage. So
Living spells have hit points.
Yeah.
but a Loser Dragon doesn't. That's bullshit.
Living
Bullshit.
spells are creatures.
You're bullshit. But she's an illusion.
I played Roland Draldek, who was a Dragonborn paladin. I started
With like
as-
4 different subclasses.
Yeah, alright, so I got really bored with the theme of the campaign really quickly, and I'm like, I'm gonna like make my character what's interesting about the campaign for me, because I hate dungeon crawls. Combats are my least favorite part of the pillars of D&D. I'm like, I need to make this interesting for me. Started as Oath of the Crown because I want to protect Waterdeep, and I'm a goody two-shoes 16-year-old Dragonborn paladin who just wants to defend the city. And then
you lost everything.
I lost
You
everything.
lost your dad, you lost your mom, and then
Yep.
you watched your grandfather turn to ash.
Yep.
And you're like, fuck this shit, fuck this city.
Yeah, Sean, who plays on our stream occasionally, played Torash for a few sessions. That was funny.
It was one session.
Was it just
was
one?
one session.
Oh shit! All right, and then he died, and then I went Edgelord and did
Oathbreaker.
Oathbreaker.
And then Zogrim sacrificed himself.
No, I went Oath of the Ancients when I got the. Oh no, that was when I
Zogrim
did
sacrificed
it.
himself,
Yeah, all right,
and
never
you went
mind.
Oath of the Ancients.
Did I transition out of it?
Yeah,
No, you stayed
No,
Ancients for the rest of the
okay.
campaign.
that was me.
Still going through 3 subclasses in fucking a single campaign.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's what makes it fun for me, fuck it. Also, oaths are super limiting flavor-wise.
I mean, paladins are super limiting flavor-wise.
Yeah. Which brings me to the last DM question I forgot. You invented Ruin.
Yep.
For the purposes of Dungeon the Mad Mage.
Yep.
My character had a fair amount to do with that, and Denton's character, and the entirety of everything.
Yeah,
so
like there's the whole story that I invented
Yeah.
for the module. So as presented, as we said before, each level is essentially like self-contained, which is terrible. Like there's no story, there's no overarching story. There is literally a 1d6 table of Hallister's goals. What the fuck?
What?
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid.
Right? Here's the worst part. That table is on the DM screen. As if that's something that I need to reference while we're playing.
Jesus.
What? Why?
No, it's just every day roll a new.
Every day roll a new thing. So like one of them is like find an apprentice, and one of them is like clear out some floors to make room for new things to bring in. It's just like, what the fuck are these goals? So there's no story in Dungeon of the Mad Mage. There's no story. It's on the right panel. Yes, no.
Wait, no.
Oh, it might be called Inns and Taverns because they're retarded and the DM screens get literally zero proofreading.
This.
Well, they're not even made by Wizards,
is that Inns and Taverns?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, look at this shit.
Like, do you need that?
Move it down just a little bit. Hallister's goals, inns and boarding houses. What?
His goal is to own an inn.
That's totally unreadable. Though.
We did
Oh,
his,
is that
we
right?
did his
That's
goal.
fine.
Like you can read the heading, but what are the 6 goals? Just like what are the names of the 6 goals?
Maybe fucking open it back up again. I don't
What
even
the
have my
fuck you close
headphones in.
it
I
for?
can't hear anybody. God!
Oh my god! Hurry
Poor
up!
Rammy.
God, Steph.
A few drinks in. Clean house, destroy. As
At.
Strike fear into heroes' hearts. Become Waterdeep's Shadow Lord. Find an apprentice. Locate Jessira.
Yeah. So those are his goals. Except he only has one of them apparently because you have to fucking 1d6 it. Like what the hell? So I wrote a story.
One-dimensional villain.
So those of you who are familiar with the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson, I modeled the knot in the weave. So the knot in the weave is in the book. There's a knot in the weave that was created by the raising of Aelin Theldar by the Illafarn elves. And yeah, I can just rattle this shit off the top of my head. They used 11th level magic to erase their existence from the world, and they fucked up the weave a little bit when they did it. And over time, that knot has been causing problems, and supposedly is the source of Undermountain madness.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is that also the same? I don't know if this is like canon or you just saying 11th level magic, but is that similar to the thing that happened in Mesra or whatever?
The Soulmonger or
the city being like put into a different dimension or plane or whatever.
Oh, Mesro plane shifting their whole fucking city.
Yeah, was that 11th level or just?
I don't know if there's if it's ever stated what level magic that was.
That's just 100 wizards casting plane shift.
Probably. Yeah, I actually don't know. Interestingly, Mesro is not the only city that disappeared during the Spell Plague under mysterious circumstances that were actually the people of that city trying to fuck off. The entire nation of Halrua disappeared during the Spell Plague because the Halruan wizards were like, fuck this shit! But after the Spell Plague ended, they came back and Mesro didn't.
I thought a lot of them, or was it only one that died? We there was something about Halrua in one of our campaigns. Like one of the cities fell or something. Those are the flying cities, right?
No, Halrua is not a flying city.
Oh, maybe I'm confusing with something else.
You're thinking of the Netherese.
Yeah.
Their cities fell after Karsus's Folly, the only 12th level spell to have ever been cast, which killed Mystra. Anyway, so or when Karsus ruined it and Mystra took away everyone's ball. What was I saying? Ruin. So the Knot in the Weave is a thing in the book, but it's not sentient. It's just like the cause of Undermountain Madness. It's why people go crazy down here.
Mm-hmm.
I made it sentient. I gave it a name. I called it Ruin. I literally named it after the villain that I was basing its personality on, Ruin.
Ruins are
Nice.
really cool.
It is a really cool name. So in
Ruin.
Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere, there's these 16 concepts called the Shards of Adinsil.
Adamantium.
I don't know.
Just say what you did. Maybe
Shards
not
of
what we referenced.
Adinalcium. Got it. So each of the shards is essentially like a tiny bit of godhood that mortals picked up. And then those mortals became those bits of godhood. So
Just
Ruin
bits.
is one of those bits of godhood. And the only thing he can do is decay.
That sounds a lot like the Tyranny of Dragons host
God
campaign.
chunks.
Yeah, the God Chunks.
Yeah, sort of. I ran Tyranny of Dragons before I read Mistborn, though. No,
So
wait.
they stole it from you.
No.
Nope, that was after.
Yeah.
That was after,
No.
but not inspired. Interesting.
Recycling ideas.
No, that actually
Actually, at least.
that actually was not inspired by Mistborn. But I didn't know anything about the Shards of Adinalcium though. Like that's Brandon Sanderson. Whatever, Ruin.
Yeah.
Stay on fucking
So
topic.
I had this high concept going into Dungeons of the Mad Mage, where spoilers for Mistborn. If you want to read the series, leave.
Nerd.
Nerd.
So so there's a trilogy. There's a second trilogy, but we don't talk about
Oh my
that
god,
one.
you're
There's a trilogy, and at the end of the trilogy, a character who has essentially been mind controlled the entire trilogy by Ruin does one teeny tiny thing that destroys Ruin's plans for all across the entire thing.
what I wanted to do.
My idea was that Hallister would be that character, totally mind controlled by Ruin, but with tiny bits of sentience, tiny bits of clarity.
Right.
So when you first met Hallister, he said, "This is my one free day, leave me alone."
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point, all he got was 1 day a month, free from Ruin. And the more he died and was reborn by Ruin, the more of his soul was taken, the more of his mind was corrupted. And that started happening to Roland as well as time went on. And it kind of sort of almost happened to Gerder, but she has really good whiz saves. Gerder died a lot. So that was my high concept. Ruin is controlling Hallister, and Hallister's a good guy. Ruin is not.
Yeah.
So at some point, you cast an anti-magic field around Hallister, which I
That's fucking
just
sick.
decided on the spot caused Ruin to not be able to see Hallister.
Mhm.
Which makes sense. Ruin is a weave.
Right.
So like Ruin just can't exist there. And Hallister just broke down crying, like, please fucking help me. That was my high concept for the campaign. And then I made Jessira Living Wish, who was aware of all of this happening and trying to pull her master free and manipulating adventurers to help her.
Yeah.
And then it actually evolved as the game went on, where the story essentially was that Denton was a soul created by Mystra for the purpose of replacing Hallister's soul in Ruin's grasp. Kind of like an Indiana Jones, like, monkey grab.
Swap
Like,
things.
you just
Like,
swap the things, but the idea was that Denton's soul would be incorruptible.
And at the end of our campaign, Den did take that place.
Yeah.
And he was in a constant, everlasting fucking battle in Undermountain to save literally everything else.
Yeah.
Until I won 3,000 years later.
Yeah. Mike was just like, no, but I want to win at some point. And I'm like, you're not going to win. He's like, but like at some point, like way down the line, I'm like,
No.
fine, 3,000 years
Wait,
later.
you actually told him that? No, the entire point is you're fighting forever.
We were, like, that was during the session. You don't remember that?
That was during
No,
the
I don't
epilogue.
remember.
Yeah. No, but like the entire point is that you're locked in an eternal struggle.
And there was
and
a very
you're the only soul adamantine enough not to lose.
there was a very important quote that came about that. My soul is adamantine, bitch.
If you hit quote in chat,
Exclamation point quote.
You will get it eventually.
I didn't get that
Eventually.
one. I love goodness of heart, especially when it's not my heart.
Damn.
Who was that, Jacobs?
That's
Yeah,
Jacobs. Jesus.
I love the concept of a good character slowly being corrupted.
Hmm.
I love that. I love that voice in the background in any sort of setting who's just like, hey,
Yeah.
you want to make a deal? You want to go
That can
bad?
work.
Doesn't it feel good?
So Nixie.
Except Abaddon's there, who's making me feel bad.
Right, but like you've made a lot of deals.
I have made a lot of deals. They are for the good of Elturel for him.
Maybe when you get like level when you get third level magic, you should sending Zogrum and be like, hey, how do I be an asshole and grow but like care about anybody else?
Is sending an artificer spell?
I don't think it is.
Oh, it's not. No.
Is it a warlock spell?
Great old one.
I'm warlock too.
No, it's,
No.
it's only Gulak.
Alright, here's the thing. You're gonna let me do that because you love me, and I'm gonna...
Or you could pay a soul coin to the Amnitsu
Ooh.
who runs from here to Avernus.
Yeah, but what's the time frame with Dungeon of the Mad Mage and Descent to Avernus?
Descent to Avernus is like a year and a half after
Oh, alright,
Dungeon of the Mad
that's
Mage.
Yeah, so he OP.
Yeah, no, he's got an army of simulacra already.
Yeah. And he goes and steals all the scrolls from
That
from
should
all
be
the
the end
stores.
result.
Oh yeah,
of her
also you have to
character, though.
eat scrolls to live.
Yeah, I just walk past scroll stores and just put my hand on the glass.
That should be the end result of Nixie, though. Just going bad, just as fucking bad as Ogrim did. Watch it happen! Every Wednesday now, not Mondays.
What a plug.
Wednesdays.
I like basing characters off of relationships with past campaign characters. At some point, we started a campaign that didn't really go anywhere, where I played our mom in TOA. Because I thought that'd be cool. I like riffing off of, like, past stuff.
Yeah.
Copycat, just copying me.
It's not copycat, you fucking...
Can you make a devil deal? Can you make a devil deal for a bag to carry soul coins in without the corrupting influence? Technically you could. If you made a devil deal that said, I want to have a bag so that I don't get corrupted by my soul coins, they would say, done, and then suddenly you're evil, and once you're evil, you won't be corrupted anymore.
Oh, I got it.
And they'll just give you a regular ass bag.
I got my
Oh my god,
score.
that's quote number 1.
Yep.
That's great.
Wait,
Or the
what?
ownership would just go to them and they'd be
Oh,
like,
why is the date format stupid?
Yeah, that's Streamlabs.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Streamlabs.
Oh,
A
Your
Night
date
Night
format
Hag's
Hag's
sucks.
bag
bullshit.
would probably do that. They are
You
designed
fucking
for carrying
do
souls.
exactly what you did, but maybe don't capitalize it. Maybe
Wait,
that's
what?
where you fucked up.
I did both.
No,
Did you?
like, he got it. Like, he
Dude,
did exclamation
yeah.
point quote and it responded. I think it's like there's a time limit.
Yeah.
You just
Oh.
can't spam it. Yeah, you got throw a bear at the problem.
Wait, I don't see that.
You don't see throw a bear at the problem?
No.
Are you
For a
retarded?
Bronze is pretty great.
Oh, okay, so it only did the
Yeah, it only did the first one, and then the second one you probably got throttled. So it, there's probably like an anti-spam.
Does tar quench thirst?
Does the tar quench my thirst?
I remember that. Oh my
Jesus.
god.
Oh my god.
I love goodness of heart, especially when it's not my heart.
Tim, just because every country uses day, month, year doesn't make that format any less stupid.
What the fuck
the
is
only-
the metric system?
No, the only good date format is year, month, day. Thanks, Mike.
Yep. ISO 8061 or 8601?
8601.
Yeah.
I think. Is it 8601 or,
No.
or were you right?
I don't fucking know. 8601, yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Did you ever consolidate all the information from all the revisions you do to campaigns? Like, do you have like a notebook or like a web document or anything with all the changes you've done to campaigns you've done?
Nope.
You should do
It's
that.
all up here.
So here's the problem with that. Number one, I make a lot of changes that I forget about mostly because the players forget about them. If I make a change to a campaign and the players forget about it, I don't push it. I don't push the issue.
Mm.
If the players forget about it, then obviously it wasn't super interesting. And then the other thing is, you need to tailor your campaign to your players. So I can tell you, I made this change, it went over great, but that doesn't help.
Yeah.
Unless, a multitude of people say, yeah, I made the same change and it went great, or we made slightly different changes and it went really, really bad, so maybe stick to the book. Like, what works for one group won't work for another group. So,
As we clearly saw that one session, the most recent session of Descent into Avernus, where you're like, have the Lemures fucking shoot.
Oh no, that wouldn't have worked for any group.
Eh.
No, that wouldn't have worked for
No,
any
I don't
group.
think that's fair.
No, that wouldn't have worked for any group. That
Okay,
was not
fuck me,
that was not
whatever.
interesting content.
I'm out of booze. It's last call. I'm out of booze.
I could, like, I'm not gonna say that, like, the things that I write aren't useful. What I am gonna say is, I don't want to put the effort into writing, like, a whole thing. Like, if I was gonna write a whole thing, I would want to go the whole 9 yards, make it really nice and pretty, add formatting and all that shit, and then sell it on DM's Guild.
My notes are so good for New Zerillion that I would love to actually do something with it. Like, actually clean it up and, like, hey, this is, like, better than, like, 90% of fantasy novels, because, let's face it, 90% of fantasy novels are shit.
I use my notes for that.
Session 19 of BGDIA.
Your notes are just green text, and the fact that I just realized that pisses me off.
But you fucking love them, though.
Shadows Assassin asks, I'm sorry, what session of Lemure's Reigning? That was episode 19 of BGDIA, the final encounter, which took like
sweet.
an
Oh, that's
hour.
Black Cherry.
Black Cherry? You grabbed the wrong one?
It does. Oh, Black Cherry, Mike's Harder is the shit.
Wow, that's really good.
Sponsor us.
Yeah, there was a lot of Lemure. Oh, it's a joke. I see. Tim says he can make book designs. It's his job. That actually is.
Tim,
he
help.
Tim, help. Don't help. Don't do that. Have you talked to Bill Beers at all? Like, has he tapped you for formatting help?
Who's Bill Beers?
He's making the War Machine supplement that the Katie's came from.
Oh.
Which was supposed to come out mid-April, but it has been pushed to June.
Can't do it all. It's fine. I think that's all I got as far
So what was your thoughts on the final battle?
Oh, there you go. I thought that... Okay, so I'll answer first.
Came out
from
of
a
fucking
player.
nowhere is
Came out of nowhere.
I will answer from a player standpoint. I thought it was really underwhelming, and I was really disappointed with the final battle. We were in this black void.
Yep.
Trying to brute force Hallister into coming out.
You literally cast Gate.
Yeah, like we did a pretty good job of doing that.
We tried a bunch of other things first.
Wait, did we use that candle or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, use the Candle of Invocation.
We had that since like level 3 where we were just sitting. I was like, we need
That
to
was
use
the
what
plan.
are we gonna
You got that in level 8, Slither Swamp.
Yeah, it's basically level 3.
Sure.
I don't know. It felt
My ear
it
hurts.
felt disappointing, and I'm not entirely sure why.
It was definitely chaotic, and it was definitely high stakes, and there was definitely a lot of like, what the, all these goddamn enemies, and it was definitely very dynamic. It wasn't the story beat that I wanted it to be, and also you weren't level 20, which
We were
bothered
level
me. You were level 19.
19. Yeah.
So my plan for level 23 of the dungeon, the Mad Wizard's Lair, as written, it's just another boring fucking dungeon crawl with secret doors and teleport trap. Fuck off. Eat a dick. So I made this black void that Ruin has total control over. And my plan was to essentially do reruns of all the most memorable encounters throughout the entire dungeon.
So the boar worm.
The boar worm would have been one of them. And then over the course of that clip show, essentially,
Yeah.
I'm doing the animation thing where it's like the third to last episode is just a clip show. After that, you would have been level 20, and then I would have brought the full power of Hallister and Ruin and all of his minions to bear, and I had not yet figured out what that meant.
Mm.
Obviously, neither did Hallister, because we
Clearly.
knew before he was ready.
Yeah. So
Like,
you
had a
just,
stroke
so
in
you,
that sense.
so you just
Hey, man.
gated him, and I'm like,
Fucking caught him with his pants down, taking a shit. It's like, oh fuck, I wasn't ready. Okay, fuck it, fireballs,
Yeah, pretty fucking much.
and fucking gate to a devil or whatever the fuck even happened.
Yeah, he opened a door to Mural, his bodyguard. Trobriand and Arcturia should have been there too. What?
Lunarise summoned something.
Yeah, there was a Balor and there was a
Yeah.
walking statue, and for like 3 seconds
The walking statue was neat.
there was a Calorak quarry until they decided, no, actually I want the walking statue. Yeah, like
Walking statue was sick.
the
And
walking
then
statue.
Girder
was
got
sick.
banished or some shit.
Oh yeah, back up to
Girder-
the surface.
Was it
What
banish or
happened?
plane shift? No, it was banishment, and
Banishment.
he kept rocking his con saves.
And it fucking worked because that void was a demi-plane or whatever.
Yeah.
Then
And-
we brought fucking Laeral in, or fucking not Laeral,
Vajra.
Vajra.
Mhm.
Yeah. I was a little upset. So, in hindsight, I should not have included Vajra. The point of Zogrim making a pact with Jessira was that Zogrim would be the one to wish Denton into ruin. But Zogrim had already used Wish to cast Greater Resto, I think, to unpetrify Girder.
Yeah.
Decent use.
But what I should have done is had Jessira cast it on your behalf. Her name is not Blackstaff.
Whatever.
Her name is Vajra Safar.
No, she's,
Blackstaff.
She is the Blackstaff.
she's like
So
12.
Jesus!
She's like 12. She doesn't get a name until she like actually.
She's 29!
Wait, really? I thought she
Same.
was like 16 or something.
She was
No, she-
16 when she became the Blackstaff.
Oh shit, I'm 30.
No,
next
she's still a
week.
kid.
You guys are bad at this.
Ah!
God! I have to pee. Shadows did it to trigger me. Good job!
Fuck.
It doesn't take a lot to trigger Ian, let's be real.
Just mispronounce a name and he's gone.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Or talk about politics. I've heard that I've seen that go very badly. Chris,
I mean, that's most people.
No, Chris tries to bring up politics every time he talks to us. And Ian just fucking and this was off stream after we did Curse of Strahd. The last talk Curse of Strahd, because he was probably like, and he fucking lost it. And I'm just like, stop. Stop. Stop.
Fucking Puffin Forest, yeah.
Oh yeah, Puffin Forest too. Yeah, don't talk about Puffin Forest. Don't talk about how rich Matt
Puffin
Colville
Forest?
is. He's the animator with he's got like really round faced characters, and he talks a lot about his homebrews. He's really popular.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
And it's just the one video that Ian just utterly fucking hates him for.
Stop yelling. Just fucking finish your business, all right?
I did finish my business. Dude, this is a huge Stromboli.
What else sets Ian off?
A lot.
Stupid people.
Hey, go at our Twitter page with a bunch of Puffin Forest shit.
Just link him to every video.
Fuck Puffin!
He didn't hear what we just said, so go do it. Ian doesn't know what's coming.
Oh,
The
yes.
headphones weren't in yet. Wait, you didn't bring me any?
Do you want one?
You fucking bitch.
You have a harder. That's all you need.
No, I want Stromboli! It's like steak and cheese or some shit. It's fucking delicious.
Oh, that sounds good as hell. Give me some.
So, yeah, I'm all out of content. I'm all out of questions. So, for next week, we can do Waterdeep Dragon Heist. We can do our homebrew. What's left?
Ham.
King's Thunder.
Storm King's Thunder.
So
you want to see Ian really mad? Vote for Storm King's Thunder.
So the three options we didn't vote for this week were New Cerulean Sagas, which is our homebrew.
Yep.
Storm King's Thunder, and Waterdeep Dragon Heist. So I will add.
And I'm beautiful.
1, New Cerulean Sagas, Thunder. 2.
Straw poll work yet?
I don't care. I'm putting it in our Discord. Join our Discord if you want to vote for next week's topic.
I don't know what we're gonna do after all the topics are called now.
We have a bunch of topics that aren't adventures.
Do it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did have ideas for those.
Yeah. So if you want to vote for next week's topic, feel free to join our Discord. The link is down below.
Even if you don't want to vote for the topic, join it anyway because we're cool there.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
we're
everyone
relatively
watching
cool.
is already a part of the Discord. 'Cause
You
I
never know.
don't post last call anywhere. It's more of like a YouTube
You gotta push
thing.
that social bullshit.
Yeah, whatever.
Follow us on Friendster.
Check out my MySpace.
Find me on Grindr.
It went a weird direction.
No, was it in Discord? People were talking about it. I can't remember.
Probably Tim talking about it.
Tim, how you doing, baby?
Jesus.
Join the Discord, and I'm sorry if we talk a lot about Animal Crossing, because a lot of us happen to play Animal Crossing. I'm sorry.
That's true.
It's the hottest, newest shit, so of course. Gotta sell them nips.
Mike, tell Ian to fucking install shit on his computer so we can play Alex Half-Life, because he still hasn't done that yet.
Alex
Ian, do
Half-Life.
Well,
Do it,
Alex
Ian.
Half-Life.
Alex.
Jesus.
Do it, it's great. Fucking get it. It's
Done
awesome.
right.
It's terrible.
Everybody, play Half-Life Alex. It's amazing.
It's terrible.
Shut the fuck up, Luke. You're wrong.
Luke, you're actually garbage. You're objectively fucking trash.
Yeah.
Will next DIA session count as a new encounter? No.
Oh, no, that's a continuous summoning.
Yeah, there's a
I totally
continuance
agree.
of an encounter.
I totally agree.
Mid fight.
Also, you can try as many times as you want to kill us. It's not going to fucking
We have
happen.
too many friends who summon friendly things and give nat 20s to players when they need them.
I mean, I'll just whip out my extra accounts and ruin things.
You could technically just like make a buttload of accounts and watch the stream on all of them.
Yeah.
Just build up a shitload of channel points.
Oh, that's an even better idea. I'm gonna do that.
Why? What was your idea?
Little do we know
Throw
that
dollars.
we only have 5 actual viewers, even though it shows up as 30, 40.
Oh, yeah, it's all
Can you
Mike's
imagine?
bots.
Yep.
Fuck.
Should I wrap it up?
How does that work in VPNs? Does it not show up as viewers if you don't use a VPN, or does it show as viewers if you do use a VPN?
I have no fucking clue.
I don't know.
How that works, yeah.
Sometimes it can, like when we first start streaming and then there's like 3 people around the table like who pull up the stream. Sometimes it'll say 3, sometimes it'll say 1, sometimes it'll say 7. We're like, I don't know who's getting counted.
Yeah.
She need to spin up my botnet. Don't worry.
All 2,000 of them.
Yes, all 2,000 of my botnets.
Fucking computers on your botnet, you goddamn idiot. God.
We are going to hit level 10 if we survive Archon, though, right?
I mean, potentially.
What do I get at level 10?
Level 8 Artificer, so an ASI. ASI and feet.
Fuck me, Jesus Christ.
That's what you get for multi-class.
Why did I take the 2nd level in Warlock anyway?
Agonizing Blast.
Yeah, it's kind
It's pretty fucking good.
of...
Pretty good one.
Except Warlock and Artificer doesn't really work because I use my bonus
Terrible,
actions for
man.
my fucking gun shit. So I don't
Not
use
only
on
that,
X.
but you got your cantrips or get that bonus D8. So like agonizing blast is nice, but it like competes for your cantrips.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not the best build, but I'm never, ever, ever optimal, so why change pace now?
Yeah, just continue being objectively trash.
So
I love you.
it's kind of unfortunate because the place where and this has nothing to do with Dungeon of the Mad Mage, but the place where you excel is actually days where there's lots of encounters because you have 6 first level spell slots, 2 of which come back on a short rest. So you can make Eldritch Blast cannons all day. You should make all the fucking cannons. Force Ballista, go.
Wait, her cannons cast her cantrips?
No, her cannons cast Force Ballista, which is essentially Eldritch Blast.
Oh, okay. About to say, fucking, if that thing's casting Agonizing Blast, holy shit.
It's 2d8.
It's 2d8 and push.
I forgot about push.
So, Repelling
Shit.
Blast.
Yeah.
Repelling's not that great, but
That's alright.
whatever.
That's pretty okay.
Was there a save, or are they
Fucking-
just pushed?
Nope.
Push on the cantrips, pretty alright.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting I have that one because I was married to the gun because D12 and it keeps jamming because
Keeps
I
fucking
suck at
jamming.
life. It's a
Gotta use
mishap on a 1 to 3.
Ugh.
Just take lucky next level.
That's a fucking waste of a feat for one
Yeah,
of
Lucky's
4
pretty good fucking
guns.
feat. Lucky's probably the best feat.
Lucky might be the best feat. It turns disadvantage into super advantage.
So dumb. I don't believe that. You're wrong. I hate you.
You want to make Mike mad? Talk about Lucky, apparently.
Ooh, I was gonna say if you believe... I was gonna say it depends on who you ask, Merles or Crawford, and then I remembered that Merles got fired over a year ago.
Why?
I don't know, but he doesn't work... He still works for Wizards, but not on the D&D team.
Huh.
Oh, I didn't know.
So what the fuck is he doing?
So did that retcon
Oh,
all of his
magic
rulings?
No, because he literally hasn't tweeted since February of last year.
Shadow Assassin said Warcaster feat for best feat. Warcaster is an incredible feat.
Warcaster's pret's pretty good, but...
Warcaster's only good for spellcast.
Yeah.
Which are among the best classes.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not among.
No, if you want to be more
I mean-
powerful than everyone else, you're a spellcaster.
Yeah.
Okay, the best. Fine. I didn't want to say it,
Fine.
but yes, wizards are the best.
Yeah. Like, Denton did a shitload of damage, but a 13th level wizard could turn him off forever by just casting Force Cage.
Mm.
Or banishment.
What do you mean could? He did!
Or hold monster or hold person.
You did force cage me.
Did I Force
Zach
Cage you?
S.
Yeah!
Who did?
Fucking Manchun. Or
Really?
Alistair, one of those.
There was a force cage. No, that was a wall.
There was a force cage.
Yeah, it was Wall of Force. It wasn't Force Cage. Still,
No,
same
'cause-
thing.
Does Wall of Force box you in?
Yeah. I mean,
Oh.
if you make the sphere
You can,
option.
Who the fuck is Zach S?
Zach S. Oh, there was a whole, like... There was a dude who was, like, sexually harassing people, and Merles, like, tweeted defending the guy,
Oh.
and then, like, more and more information came out about how much of a scumbag this guy is.
When are people gonna learn if you don't take a stance on something, you're just better off?
Well, he
Keep
did
your fucking
take...
mouth shut.
He did take a stance.
That was his fault.
And that's the
Right.
problem. But like moving forward after that whole scandal broke, they removed the guy's name from the playtester credits in like every published
Oh,
book.
really?
Yeah.
Damn.
It's like that Parks and Rec episode where she's like, I love the gays. I married 2 gay penguins. No, I didn't take a stance on gays. I did not.
I love how Lunaraya noticed that I put a name for the Master of Cruelties in my notes. The Master of Cruelties that he summoned, I named him for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Even though the name never came up. He noticed in my notes on the prep stream that I gave it a name, and he got it wrong anyway. I named it Mar-Uz, and he just said Ma-Oz. Come on, Lunaraya.
Lunaraya, you can't even spell my dog's name right. Can we talk
There's
about
one
that?
Damn. Where's your Metroid lore?
Alright, we should end this before
Yeah.
we just start shitting on people, because I think we're that level of drunk.
One real
With
quick
that level
question.
of drunk.
Yeah.
Can Samus crawl?
Samus can crawl.
Okay.
No, she can't crawl on command. I kind of want to teach her that.
It was a meme.
No, I know! Shut up! But, like, if we taught the dog that, that'd be cute. Like, if she fucking, like, wiggle worms her way around, that'd be neat.
And then she starts pulling her butt across the carpet.
I think that's more of a male dog.
No,
thing.
that's my butt is itchy thing.
So she got the, is
The
it name?
ringworm.
No. It's not, we're not, stop. No. Like, your fucking anal sacs get swollen or
Oh,
something.
yeah,
It's
anal
fucking
glands need to be
weird.
expressed.
Butthole.
On that note,
Butthole flapping.
What the fuck?
I was gonna. It was from Dragon by Spire. Fucking
Weasel Boy
Luke must
says
have
shit
been-
on me too. That came out wrong. I just mean talk trash.
You suck, Lunariah Hart. I was gonna do this thing for Dungeon of the Mad Mage where we went through some of the funniest clips, but I don't think I want to do that.
Yeah, we're almost 2 hours at this point.
Yeah,
We don't need
it's
clips.
fine.
It's fine.
Something
So-
about kids dying or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so I went through and I actually tried to look at the ones that were like relevant to content in Dungeon of the Mad Mage, and one of them was like Hallis Tree. Like we touched on a bunch of them, it's fine. But what are you laughing at?
Hey, Luke just did a quote. Harry Potter and the audacity of this bitch. AJ.
That's a good one. I only have one quote.
Get
You
good.
suck. You're not quotable.
So be more funny.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I think that was when you summoned the Manticore, yeah.
I can't keep track of your summons anymore, man. Alright, so if you're watching this on YouTube, check out our Twitch. If you're watching this on Twitch, check out our YouTube. We have a Twitter we never look at. Join the Discord if you're not there already. What are you
Yeah,
laughing
I
at?
think
We have a Twitter we never look at.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. I'm not gonna fucking
Still
lie about
funny.
shit. We don't have a Facebook because we're not grandmas.
Or pizza places.
Or yeah, so vote in Discord what you want to see next week. I kind of want Dragon Heist to win.
It's winning.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite campaigns. I like
It's,
that.
it's
campaign.
winning pretty hard.
Yeah.
And then did you make a Discord channel for like ideas for this?
Yeah, I deleted it like 2 days ago
Alright,
because
so
no one posted
that channel
it.
doesn't exist. So if you want to see something else, just post it in general.
Yeah, do that.
Just add everyone. Everyone loves that, right?
Yeah.
Oh god.
I have ideas what we can do after we run out of like modules to discuss. And it's like party composition.
Don't spoil our fucking topics.
God, Steph.
God.
Who gives a fuck?
I do.
Your opinions don't matter.
Yeah, Mike doesn't matter.
Ah.
Alright. We're gonna wrap this up. Our next stream is Sunday. We play Dungeons and Dragons versus Rick and Morty. So if you want to watch that fucking mess,
Pickle
tune in for that.
Rick!
Yeah, we just fought all the pickle
That was
Ricks.
loud.
Yeah.
There's more than one? Fuck.
There were a bunch
It was
of
an
them.
entire pantry full of lycanthra pickles.
I still haven't seen
Fuck.
a reference to Show Me What You Got, and it pisses me off. But I'm Beth and Chris is Jerry,
Yeah.
and we shit on each other the entire time. It's great.
Ooh, you can be a real healer now.
I can be an actual surgeon and not a horse surgeon.
Alright, thanks for watching. Check out all of our other streams. We stream Friday and Sunday at 7 p.m., Monday and Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Check out our Twitch. That has all of our, like, what we do, when. Okay.
Oh my god, why did we let you talk? Bye!